Says the Kanye situation is crazy.
So Kanye West has always been someone who is known to freely speak his mind no matter what anyone thinks, or how many people might disagree with his opinions.
The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
How, Sway? Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man.
It was a Jewish doctor.
You said the album was coming out on Saturday. It didn't come out. What happened?
I didn't finish it.
He has long been known for being someone who relishes in stirring the pot and creating controversy. And for a long time it seemed like no matter what he did or said, it did not matter because he was winning on such a massive scale.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
Many consider him to be one of the most innovative
goated,
artists
though.
of all time, and he has fearlessly pushed the envelope and shaped the sounds of several generations of music with his keen ability to create. And that's not to even mention his billionaire status that he achieved mostly through his clothing creations, and of course the Yeezy brand in general with the shoes. Because even in the midst of all the smoke and mirrors, Kanye always showed himself to be a visionary and an amazing businessman who simply would not take no for an answer. But over the last couple of years, it's growing more and more apparent that Kanye seems to have overextended his welcome, both in the entertainment and major business industry. He has gone through a lot personally with his divorce from Kim Kardashian. Obviously, he had the whole debacle with Adidas cutting him off due to his Twitter rants. He was in massive debt, they froze his bank account, he was coming out every other week saying some outlandish stuff.
Which was crazy, by the way. I remember this fucking run he was on. That was a serious fucking run. I fuck with Kanye though. But I ain't fucking with the Hitler vibes though. Like when he was giving them Hitler vibes, he was tweaking, but I fuck with bro though.
Recently, it's really felt like the first time in history that Kanye is losing impact from literally every standpoint that matters to him, whether that be in business, or in music, or merely his public perception. And that's not to even mention his very fast marriage to Bianca Censori, who he constantly has parading around with no clothes on. Like I'm talking about completely see-through, like it looks like they wrapped her naked body up with some saran wrap. Like recently I saw this video where Kanye is out at dinner with a ton of people, and his girl is sitting there just straight up topless. And
Lemonade escapist.
Yeah, no bullshit. Real quick though. How do y'all feel about that? Like, bro. Like, it's one thing to be like, okay, that's me, and like, you know, that like it's confidence behind that, and then like you showing like what your girl got and shit. But I mean, bro, like for you to have your girl in like see-through tops and shit, brody, I couldn't even do it, bro. Like everyone gonna be staring at my bitch. Everyone's gonna be looking at my bitch. Everyone's gonna be thinking about what they want to do to my girl and shit. Fuck no. That's a crazy man right there.
completely normal. Like, hey, dude with the shades in the corner, you're not fooling anyone. We know it's a cool 69 in that room and you were making eye contact with those biddies.
Hey,
now, recently, Kanye released
you see what
his
I'm talking
newest
about?
album, Vultures 2, and it was met with a lot of criticism with a lot of Kanye's lifelong fans wondering what the hell was going on. Because while Kanye might have been wild and doing whatever he wanted, one thing that always stayed consistent was that he was going to make some good sounding music for his fans. And it really did feel like that was something that was never gonna change. I mean, don't get me wrong, he wasn't making Graduation or even The Life of Pablo, but he was still capable of releasing a good project. Amongst many criticisms for this album, people mainly complained about the lack of straight up sound quality on this record.
Ye was in the studio working on the album and accidentally hit submit.
This sounds like something they would release a year after his...
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I have not heard Vultures 2 at all. Like, my life been a little crazy, so I haven't even tapped into Vultures 2.
Everything new is either low quality, AI, or songs heard years ago.
Garbage mixing, lazy verses, unfinished songs. Ye can do way better.
My goat is washed.
Now I tried to get through this whole project last night, and it's a very rough listen. In fact, it's so poorly made that it makes Lil Pump's Harvard Dropout look like a masterpiece. And I know Kanye likes to do the thing where he basically starts putting out patch notes on his music, but no amount of remixing or adding or subtracting from these songs is going to make this a listenable experience, much less an enjoyable one. Now this has left even the biggest Kanye stans in shambles. It's kinda like when the Patriots lost Tom Brady, and the fans didn't know what to do with themselves because they were so used to being the perennial favorite for damn near 2 decades.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what the Patriots were gonna be when Tom Brady left. Like, that shit was tragic. Even for me to experience the Tom Brady leaving to the Bucks, that shit was crazy. I'm like, damn, he's gone. I'm not a Patriots fan, but I'm just like, damn, he's gone. I'm a Jets fan, really. Fuck them Patriots. But I fuck with Tom Brady, though. You got to respect people. You got to respect the ones that's goated. You understand what I'm saying?
But now this alleged whistleblower has come forward, and it might shed some light on Kanye's very strange behavior over the last couple of years. Milo Yiannopoulos is the man who posted this information about Kanye. He is a very controversial political figure who I will say has historically not been the most trustworthy source. And he's definitely said some really strange shit in the past. Despite all of that, when Kanye was going through that arc where he wanted to run for president and was hanging out with the likes of Nick Fuentes and all that other weird shit that he was doing, well, during that time, Milo was apparently working for Kanye on
Yeah, right? What the fuck happened to Nick Fuentes?
campaign, and though that movement seems to have now lost all momentum, Kanye had hired Milo once again to be the chief of staff at Yeezy Apparel in April of this year, only for him to step down a month later over a disagreement with the direction of the company where Kanye now wanted to make adult films. Regardless of all of that, Milo would take to Twitter to blow his alleged whistle on what's been going on with Kanye. There is a reason Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, is no longer capable of successfully releasing music or clothing. In fact, there are several reasons, but the most serious and the most recent is his dentist, Thomas Connolly. Connolly got Ye hooked on nitrous.
Check this out. State Farm was charging me $179 for auto insurance per month. No thank you.
Laughing gas. It is my belief that Connolly sought to diminish Ye's mental faculties so that Connolly and his business associates could extract millions of dollars from him. Earlier this year, I uncovered the fraud and intervened. Ye, hooked on nitrous, blew up our relationship on purpose by proposing something that he knew I'd have to resign over, because I had told him so. The resurrection of his longtime idle fantasy of making corn. Thomas Connolly is a dangerous predator who targets African American celebrities, into whose mouth he puts fake diamonds, as I suspect he did to Lil Yachty. He must be stopped. I filed a complaint with the California Dental Board last week to that end. Milo would also share this video where he says that Kanye is off the laughing gas.
Ryan Garcia, this Ye, I'm on the nitrous.
And then he would later post this alleged...
Wow, I get it now. You see, at first I did not understand this shit. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Talking about nitrous gas. But he's on drugs. Clearly the nigga is on drugs.
Which is a written statement that...
That's still my man, though. But what the fuck, Ye?
To verify that the information in the document is true. Now here once again he calls out the dentist Thomas Connolly, accusing him of the unlawful supply of enormous quantities of nitrous gas to the wealthy, famous patient for explicit recreational use, the physical transportation of 4 surgical-sized canisters by Connolly himself into the patient's home on just one afternoon, charging more than $50,000 per month for this service, continuing to supply the gas long after the emergence of distressing symptoms that led to widespread comments and concern, instruction to the patient in the operation of nitrous gas canisters left by Connolly at the patient's home, knowingly encouraging their use in the absence of a qualified anesthesiast or medical professional by a person with a history of mental illness and addiction, the abandonment of said patient to the self-destructive consequences of said dependence, showing indifference or worse to the prospect of permanent damage in the brain and in the body by Connolly's negligence at best and malice with the intent to defraud at worst.
So imagine getting into the field, like going to school for like dentistry and shit, and like your whole intention behind it is just to end up like being on some whole like kingpin shit. Like, I'm trying to serve the fucking community of Hollywood and shit, like these drugs illegally, because that's the type of shit they be on. Like, the fuck?
information and
crazy,
belief,
bro.
the wrongful and fraudulent extraction of millions of dollars by Connolly and his business associates from a patient he knew to be confused, dependent, weakened, and in an addicted state. Testimony from Connolly's business partner that he has defrauded dozens of his athletes and celebrity client base by charging them for natural stone diamonds orthodontics, but in reality using cheap, lab-grown diamonds for as much as a 15,000% in price difference. Testimony from Connolly's business partner that he owes a debt of more than $2 million to the Mexican drug cartel, and that this cartel owns his surgical practice in Beverly Hills and uses it to launder money. Understand that this guy Thomas Connolly is known for being a celebrity dentist who has apparently done work for people like Shaq, Lil Yachty, Justin Jefferson, DaBaby, and many other celebrities.
If I had to credit, who are really the
First of all, if my dentist was to ever fucking look like this. First of all, my dentist would never look like that. It's not a nigga, it's a bitch. I'm sorry, excuse me. It is a female. I am not doing that, bro. I'm not fucking with no nigga that look like that. Bro, no, bro. This nigga look like he work at Harley Davidson, my guy.
My business is that the brains are Post Malone and Odell Beckham Jr., and that's why they're partners.
This guy's basically putting diamonds and other fancy things in people's mouths. And obviously one of the other big accusations here is that he has taken lab-grown diamonds, presenting them as real to his clients, and then charging them as if they were naturally grown. For those of you that don't know, lab-grown diamonds are significantly cheaper than ones that grow on Earth, but with the human eye, they are nearly indistinguishable. And can I just acknowledge that this dude looks absolutely insane? Like,
Exactly.
Trusting anyone who has their hairline tattooed on. Basically, Milo claims here that Kanye started a relationship with this guy doing his teeth. He started giving him access to the laughing gas nitrous, and basically got him addicted to the point where Kanye would do anything to keep him in-house so he could have a steady supply of the laughing gas, no matter what the cost. And Milo claims that this guy, without any real experience in business, wanted to restructure the entire Yeezy company himself. With no experience in either music or fashion, and without examining a single document or interviewing a single member of staff, Connolly proposed widespread and disruptive changes to Yeezy's structure and operations, without even knowing what they were, and offered himself as the ideal candidate to lead the business and revivify the company's fortunes. Although he knew nothing about the business and supplied no business plan or assessment of the company's financials, because he didn't know them. Connolly nonetheless insisted that he could not accept any less than $2.4 million a year in compensation. In his plan, he allegedly detailed that his primary goals were to build the Drome, which was supposed to be some...
Hold on, chat. Important phone call. Let me see. Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
What you doing?
I'm just watching YouTube videos.
Oh, okay. I forgot to tell you that I was here.
Oh, you here? You back? Or, I mean, you, you in DC or whatever the hell.
I'm in Waldorf.
Waldorf.
Or in Ekik Waldorf.
How is the damn Ike Keek?
Yeah, it's called Ekik.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, shit, I'm tripping, bro. I'm tripping. I ain't even smoke. It's a crazy thing. I ain't even smoke. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I was here.
Oh, okay. I love you. How was the drive, though?
It was far, but, you know, we here.
It was far, but we here. I fuck with that.
Yeah, but, we just gonna lock in for like an hour or two, and then I'm gonna head back.
Hell yeah, do your thing, beautiful. I love you, okay?
I love you too, bro.
Alright, bye. Hey, you know how that shit be, man. You know how that shit be, man. When you got a little leg or something, man, it's alright.
For the city in the Middle East, his next goal was allegedly to...
Wait, so bro's a dentist, and he wanted to be... with no prior experience in business or fashion or anything music related or pop culture, basically. He wants to own Yeezy and manage the shit. That's fucking crazy. So my son was... No, my man was fucking drugging Ye to basically corrupt his whole life and take over his companies and shit. That's crazy, bro. They really out here to take a nigga down, bro. And
N202 system, and then to build some sort of Yeezy car? I mean, if that is all true, that is just an absolute garbage plan of action. I did find this interview from last year where he sounds very intrigued by the idea of the personal use anesthesia.
I think a segue between the two worlds would be the local anesthesia route. There's no reason why tattoo artists aren't getting local anesthetic.
By April, employees at all levels of the company were worrying about Ye's dependence on the gas and speaking openly about it. Ye talked about it nonstop in meetings. He seemed to be in and out of the inhaler mask on a near constant basis, even posting a video message to MMA fighter Ryan Garcia on the subject. A division head with years of experience working closely with Ye confided to me that it was like speaking to an entirely different person. It was around that time that one of the junior staff confessed that he had seen Connolly hauling 4 large surgical tanks of nitrous oxide into Bianca Sensori's apartment, and that something had told him to take a couple of photographs. A long-standing vendor told me, in apparent amazement, how casually Connolly talked about putting Ye under, understanding him to mean full anesthesia, for no apparent medical purpose, as though it were a normal part of his everyday life. A bill was received and paid for over $61,000 by Yeezy solely for anesthesia and nitrous gas. Some sort of inside source also informed him that Connolly continues to collect fees of this size from Kanye, as well as flights and hotels in destinations such as Paris and Florence. And basically, prolonged use of this stuff can do some serious damage to not only your mind, but also your body. I was told over the telephone by a Yeezy employee who wished to remain anonymous that they directly witnessed Ye self-administering the nitrous gas provided by Connolly. Most disturbingly of all, I learned that Connolly had moved into the apartment building Ye resided at during this period, at Ye's expense. Given Connolly's familiarity with rap and hip-hop music stars, many of whom have been clients in the past, there can be no doubt that he was aware of Ye's psychological vulnerabilities. Milo would also go on to share a group message that was allegedly between him, Kanye, and this dentist, where the dentist allegedly speaks about wanting to build this personal nitrous machine. This needs to be a long-term goal. Get recreational nitrous legalized. To which Milo posed these questions and concerns, and Kanye says allegedly, "Can I have nitrous today? Tom, you said you'd bring them by today." Checking in. Kanye's new chief of staff would actually respond to these claims, sort of, saying that Kanye is the healthiest and happiest he's been in a long time after taking a break from social media, and that the toxic people who used and abused him are now out of the picture. Milo also claims that when he was put in charge that he noticed that Kanye's company was burning money at a massive rate, and that most of it was going towards nothing productive. And he really does make it seem like several people here were taking Kanye for a free ride, leeching off his wealth and taking advantage of his trust and his bad mental health. Even claiming that all
I ain't gonna lie, y'all, that shit, like, I'm high as fuck, so, I'm a little bit sensitive to the feelings and shit, but, bro, I feel bad for Ye, gang. They should not be trying to abuse my man like that. Like, he ain't sit here and fucking put out some great life-changing music. Like, that's crazy, bro.
And had seized assets from Kanye, including Grammys, birth certificates of his children, and apparently even his mother's death certificate. I mean, obviously, guys, it's impossible to know how many of these claims can actually be substantiated. And this guy Milo is not known for being the most trustworthy source, but a lot of what he says here, at least to me, looks like it could possibly be legit. Especially given some of the interviews Tom Connolly.
I can't take this fucking guy serious. Especially the fact that he pointed out, like, his shape up is tattooed, bro. That shit's deep. That's like when girls get their eyebrows tattooed. No shade. But you gotta think about it, bro. Like, that shit is not real. Like, niggas went ahead and drew some shit on you. That's the type of shit you into.
And how anxious he seems to further evolve the personal use of anesthesia and N202. I guess I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if there was some truth to these statements. Obviously, if this was a legit affidavit, he could be tried for perjury, and that would be a federal offense if he is lying, so he's really kind of putting his life on the line here. And that's not to even mention the Mexican cartel, which can obviously be extremely powerful. But I want to know what you guys think about all of this down below. I think it would definitely explain some of Kanye's more crazy behavior over the last couple of years. Did you listen to his new project? Did you think it was trash? Did you love it? I want to know down below, but as always, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribe.